Frankmeisters, what's going on? So happy today they got my new modem that I can go live again. Been out without a modem since late Sunday night. So how is everybody doing on this Wednesday evening? On this cold ass day here in Indiana? Man, I see a lot of people starting to pop in here pretty quick already. Yes. My goodness. Y'all been waiting on me to go live or what? Hey, what's going on, Renee? What's going on, Brad? D. Gale. Rendejas. Cynthia Gaines. Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia became a new member today, guys. Thank you very much, Cynthia Gaines. Wanda from Missouri. Who else we got in here? I've seen that name. Hat Haters Mirror. Is that what that is? GP. Just talked to you a few minutes ago. Leslie. By the way, everybody, Leslie Kingston will be joining me on the panel here shortly. Got some news that she wants to tell everybody, but I already advised her if it hasn't been vetted yet, we have to speculate and rumor, but I'll let her explain what's going on. Just give us a few minutes. Can you guys hear me? Because it sounds like Leslie says there's no sound. Can y'all hear me? Okay, yep. Looks like people hear me. Let me get back here. All right. Then we got V. Marie. It's good to see you, young lady. One of my closest friends, Pam Hurst. Carol Murray. Mr. Randy Gravitt. You're more than welcome to come up on the panel, too. Raggedy Susan. True Crime Housewife. Cindy Lean. Hey, girl. Angela Vanoven. Boston Christian. Corey England. Hey, Mr. Corey England, man, check your emails, man, because I sent you a response on that email that I got, and you never responded to me, man, because me and you need to have a conversation about that email. It's okay, guys. It's nothing bad. It's just something information that this gentleman sent me in an email, and I needed to talk with him on a personal level about it. So it's in regards to the red Jeep. Who else we got in here? Boston Christian, Julian Friend, Mustang, Gail Herders, Cold Truth. Talked to her a little bit ago, too. Frederica. Who else we got in here? Doo-doo, doo-doo. And that's it for the time being. So what's going on, people? Other than the Supreme Court orders that were dropped on Monday, kind of figured they were going to deny the original writ. Knew that was going to happen. But the way I see with the Supreme Court, him wanting to hear arguments, it's everybody thinks Judge Gold is going to be out. That's what I'm hearing right now, and I don't see it that way. I mean, the way I got to look at it right now, and the Supreme Court justices right now, it's a 50-50 thing right now. So, and yes, people, I will be attending that hearing with Miss Rescue All Dogs, and we will be leaving here plenty early because I actually live about 20-25 minutes from the Supreme Courthouse, federal courthouse downtown, and she lives in Whitestown, that area over there, and she comes to get me, and then we drive downtown. And the same day as Mr. Westerman's hearing too, but 2 hours earlier. Who else has jumped in here? Let's see. Oh, we got some other people. Who is this? Josh the Posh 63. Good to see you, Miss Thang. All right. You guys know my routine. At the very beginning of the show, I have to go over the rules with people that are new to the channel. And my mods are very aware of what the rules are, and they understand my rules, and they won't tolerate it just like I won't. Some of the stuff that's been going on these other channels. First of all, we will not directly call out a channel's name, badmouth them, or anything in that nature. Now, if I've got somebody that's not a channel member who's a follower or whatever, and they want to talk smack on the outside of the channel, and if you're in my chat, I will call you straight out. I think everybody knows that already, because you're not going to talk shit outside of the channel and then come here and act like you're going to get away with it, because I'll call your ass out real quick. Because I put a post out a couple days ago. 2024, my heart's not going to be as big, guys. I'm telling you that right now. Because there's too much bullshit going on and too many games being played between certain creators, and I'm not going to stand back and let it happen to me. Because if my name gets brought up, I'm calling you out instantly. And a lot of you guys know that. And by the way, let me see. Let me go through here again. There's Rescue. Rescue All Dogs is great people. She is great people, guys. She's a wonderful person. She has a big heart. Let's see who else is in here. Mama Wolverine, it's nice to see you. Alley Cat. All right, let me put the link one up one more time, because I'm going to have Leslie Kingston come on. There's some information that she has that she wants to let everybody know about. But me and her have already had this discussion, and when she's done presenting with the information that she has, I will come back behind her and let her know. I've already told her this, but I would have to let her know what my thoughts are at this point in time. So, Leslie, if you click on that link, it'll bring you into StreamYard. There's Randy. Hey, what's going on, bud?
Oh, not much.
We're waiting on Leslie Kingston to come up here, because she got a hold of me about 20 to 30 minutes of information regarding Richard Allen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm waiting on her to come up here.
It's going to be interesting on the 18th of next month.
Yes, I agree. I think the only reason why they want to have that hearing so they can get a better understanding verbally than actually reading it in those files. Yeah. You click on, Leslie, click on the StreamYard link. You're going from your phone, or you on a laptop or something? Because if you're on your phone, click on the StreamYard link, and then you got to go up to the three dots in the right-hand corner of your phone and click on and open up in Chrome, and then it'll ask you to enter the studio, and then it'll ask you what name you want to use. Whose mic is cracking up? Mine?
Yeah, Rescue? Yours. Yeah, yours.
Oh, God, here we go again. All right. Oh, hold on a second, guys. That's probably Leslie right there. Oh, no, she ain't figured it out yet. Yeah. Here, Leslie, I'll send a link to your messenger. Give me a second. Messenger.
Hey, Pam. Good to see you.
Leslie.
Hey, Renee.
Kingston.
Are you
all right, Leslie, I just sent the link to your messenger. Open it from there. So, what's going on with you, Randy?
Oh, not much. Like I said, I told you earlier.
Do you want to talk about what happened last night so you can get your point across to people?
Well, last night, everybody's throwing a hit spit last night, but I was on Marvin's channel. I wasn't on Anthony's channel. So People are getting confused, but I guess he had a link to her channel, but I wasn't on there. I was on
Marv's channel.
Marv's channel. I wasn't on Anthony's channel, so everybody's throwing his spit. I'm on Anthony's channel. Like, no, I'm not on Anthony's channel. I'm on Marv's.
Well, I mean, that does bring up a situation when it comes to who you're talking about. And I'm going to set the record straight right now because I've had two people make comments to me already when it regards to that young man. And I'm telling you again, and it's going to be the last damn time I tell anybody, I have no contact with that dude. He's an idiot. He's a fool, and he's a waste of breath because he's got so much talent and he's just throwing it down the drain. Okay? And first of all, this person sent me a message in my community page talking about they don't appreciate me supporting the con man. I don't support him whatsoever. I gave him one opportunity last year and he blew it within the first couple of weeks. And I don't give a damn if anybody hears it, he hears it, who hears it. You go back and run your damn mouth to him. Anyway, I don't care. And then I got somebody message me telling me that Greeno allegedly said that if there's any issues anywhere that with him, I guess they were implying, I don't know how true it is, saying that Greeno said if anybody fucked with me, I was to get a hold of Frank and he would take care of it. No, dude. If that's the case, no. Sorry, dude. You're not doing your obligation as a sperm donor. I'll just let you know that right now, bro. I'm just letting you know right now. I don't want no contact with somebody like that, period. You know? And then you throw these little rants and raving shit that you do on your channel, wanting people to feel sorry for you. Dude, you put yourself in the position you're in. And I'm sorry I'm being a dick, asshole, whatever you want to call me. I don't care, bro. You need to stop with the whiny shit and grow up and be a damn man and take care of your responsibilities, and people wouldn't have a problem with you. Miss Leslie Kingston. There you are. How are you?
Hang on just a second.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I've been reading that new book, Susan Hendrick book, Down the Hill. It's pretty good. It's going by how the case got started.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you want to tell the audience the information that you told me today?
If you want me to, sure.
Well, it's got to come from the horse's mouth. I don't want to relay something that came from you, so I'll let you do it.
Okay. Let me read the email that I received, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I received an email today, and it was dated Monday, 4:45 a.m., and it's just from Wabash Valley Correctional Facility. And the very last paragraph of it was that he, meaning Richard Allen, had attempted suicide at the other facility and making accusations that he wasn't being fed and mistreated. He's under suicide watch in a cell with cameras monitoring him 24 hours and 15-minute rounds, in-person checks. I know on the news they did not reveal reasons for transfer. Well, I will attempt another call within the next couple of days. And yep, the Colts and players, and it went on into a personal thing about Colts and Pacers that this other individual and I have talked about. But basically saying that Richard Allen had attempted suicide at Westville. And that's one of the reasons why he had been moved into Wabash.
Oh, really? See, that's surprising. Honestly,
didn't he do that once before when sometime this year?
The only thing that we really knew about what he did up in Westfield back then is he was eating his Discovery.
Paperwork.
People because
Yeah.
it wasn't eating.
and not eating. That's all we knew of.
Well, he said that he had accused the facility of Westville of not feeding him at this, and that's one of the reasons why he has an axe to grind, so to speak, with
What?
this facility.
Right. Okay.
And
On June 15th, when that guy was running, he said we tried to get him to eat, but he wouldn't eat.
I mean, that's on his own on accord, and
Yeah.
they cannot force feed him.
well, they
Not
can't
if-
force them to shower either if they don't want to take a shower. So I mean, they're not going to. I mean, the guards aren't going to do that for them. They're not. They're not there to babysit them. They're. It's there. They can offer it to him, but if he doesn't want to take a bath or a shower, he's not going to. The guards aren't going to wash his underarms for him. So
Well, it's basically
I don't know how the prisons work here, so I know a little bits of the ins and outs because my cousin was up in Westfield for armed robbery. Got
well,
18-year bid.
this is from somebody that's in Wabash.
Wabash, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know some people that were there too in Wabash too.
No,
And
that
see,
he's there now.
right, a buddy of mine was there, and he's been trying to get a hold of a couple people that are still there through the iPads because they use all emails when they communicate.
Right. Tablets. The
Right, and he's trying to get a hold of a couple people to see exactly where Richard Allen's at.
He's in shoe. He's in the shoe is in shoe right now, which is a segregated housing unit, and
Right.
that he gets 1 hour with a ball, basketball, and a hoop in a bird cage. They call it a bird cage every other day.
Right.
So
Right.
that's his only privilege that he's being afforded right now.
Wow.
Well, it's basically he's just doing it himself to his own self up there.
Yeah, basically, it's an attention thing, I would imagine.
Yeah. As long as he don't break his iPad, $300 iPad again, throw it against the wall.
Well, I think they'll charge him this time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of that. They're probably taking his commissary money every time somebody deposits money into his commissary. They're taking it.
Hopefully.
I mean, it sounds cruel, but you've got to pay for it somehow, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully.
but yeah, like I said, I was talking earlier. We were talking just a little bit earlier about the Supreme Court thing, and everybody knows that me and Rescue All Dogs are planning to attend.
She's a good person.
Yes, she's a lovely woman. I mean, she's a great friend. I mean, she'll do anything for anybody. She'll give the shirt off anybody, and I recognize
still owes
that.
me lunch, though.
Uh-oh.
She says, Leslie, you are so beautiful, even prettier in person.
Aw.
But like I said, a lot of people are writing off Judge Gold now. And I've heard some clips and pieces of other creators talking about how an attorney, a specific attorney, I know who he is, but I'm not going to mention his name, that I've had conversation with through another channel saying that it's not looking good for Judge Gold. Well, I would have to disagree because it's a 50-50 chance that she's going to get kicked off. And a lot of people have already written her off of being kicked off. And you can't look at it that way. I mean, the odds are pretty even right now.
Well, I think the one is worse is because her health happened last month.
Right.
I think that may be the reason she won't stay on the case.
Does anybody know why she was sick?
Nope.
Okay.
I guess it's been going on for a while. That's why she's so behind on this case, getting caught up on documents and stuff like that. Because she's been working from home here lately. I guess she was working from home prior to the hospital stint. So I really don't know what's going on with her. But it's just like I tell everybody else. I said the governor did not put her on the short list of to be picked to be put on the Indiana Supreme Court if she didn't have a impeccable record. You know what I mean? I mean, I understand a lot of people are mad at the fact about that pedophile that molested his stepkids, his daughters, whatever they were, and she only gave him probation. A lot of the times they do not want to spend the money to take a person to trial. The prosecution don't, because typically it runs from about $30,000 to $50,000 for a trial in the state of Indiana, and they don't want to have to spend that money, so they'll offer a plea, go to prison or probation or whatever. And if they're a first-time offender, and I can give a prime example right there in Boone County, you should know about this, Leslie, about that music teacher,
Right.
that was doing the CSAM by phone, whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Slap on the wrist. That's all he got, probation, and he got put on the sex offender's wrist. That was it. You know, so
I don't think Richard Allen's going to get that.
oh no, oh there's no way, no way,
No,
no way. And I agree.
I think he's in the crosshairs. So
Yeah, whoa. Well, let me get in this chat real quick. We can all participate in this. Mel, are you still in here? You can come up too. I love Mel. She speaks her mind. I love it. Let's see. So yeah, I done had a Scooby snack, Rendejas. No, I hear somebody's phone beep. Is that you, Randy?
yeah, hold on.
You're good. Your phone's like mine all day and all night.
It like goes nuts. It goes crazy every time I leave home, and it just, my nephew says, "Man, they're all just going after you." I said, "Yeah." Every time I leave home, something goes off.
I'm trying to find anybody's comments. All right, Brian Emery, are you attending both court hearings? There's no way, man. I mean, the Westerman hearing is about 20 minutes for me in Franklin, and that's at 9 a.m. And the Supreme Court one is about 25 minutes for me at the federal building downtown. And from what I'm hearing, there is only so many seats, and they basically have like a drawing or
raffle.
something in that nature to get a seat. So I would assume that me and Rescue All Dogs will be leaving here pretty early in the morning.
Well, they say there's like only 50 seats in that.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with Delphi, Carroll County.
They just count how many people.
But I anticipate a lot of news at this one.
I think so. I think so. Every single news are down there in Indianapolis will show up to make sure they get in there.
I'm trying to get to the chat here.
I just got in the chat, and I just want to thank everybody for all these compliments.
Hey, it gets you some exposure.
Oh,
hey,
no.
and one thing, Leslie, I appreciate you working behind the scenes and getting info that you can pass along.
You know, I mean, anything I can do to help.
And once again, V. Marie is asking, where did this info come from?
I'd be happy to tell her privately. But, you know.
Do you know? Are you in?
It's a trustee inmate within Wabash.
Okay. And that's all we need to know.
Yeah, because I don't really want
to put his name right. Exactly.
You know, right now I have kind of like a good way of getting info, and if I threw him under the bus, it would probably, we would, you know, slap ourselves. So that wouldn't be. You know, I'm not going to name a name, but it's somebody I know.
And D. Ashley's sick again, guys. But I do appreciate her being here tonight. She hadn't been around for a while because her son just had surgery and she's been sick again. And prayers to you and your son, D.
Aww.
Yeah, I know, D. It's got to suck. And Vicky saying, "Is Joe Louis Crime Night has really been crossing the line?" Oh, believe me. If I'd have known about that video where it was going on about he's claiming Nick McClellan is being recorded saying that Richard Allen's innocent, and then True Crime Notebook got a hold of me and she said, "I'll send you the audio for that." And she said, when you listen to it, she said, you'll hear a certain part of the audio is looping. And she said, right there, told me it was a AI recording. It's like, yeah, good catch. You don't want me going in this chat. No, you don't want me going in there. As I had to correct some people in another chat earlier. And we got into this big debate about what Libby was wearing that day.
Oh, my.
Right. And I have to keep advising people, you have to go by what Ellie's telling us. I understand that a lot of people don't trust Ellie, but the information they gave us is the only information we know what she was wearing that day.
Well, it's also in this book Susan wrote.
You know, and another thing is you got to think about this. Didn't Ellie put out there was a couple pieces of clothing that was missing, a pair of underwear and a sock, correct?
Mm-hmm.
If Libby was wearing jeans, where are the jeans?
Good
Because
point.
they're saying they put it on Abby. No, Abby had the same clothes on that she had on the bridge, but one difference, she was wearing Libby's Delphi sweatshirt, the black one.
Yeah, because Abby's wearing a pink jacket.
Well, I think that there would be
she's
a
wearing a
size
pink
difference
T-shirt
too.
with a light colored jacket.
It was a gray jacket, but
yeah,
yeah,
and a pink T-shirt.
Yeah.
And we know what Abby was wearing because she was on the bridge and we got a picture of her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's all we can do is go by what they tell us. They gave that information to the news media and the news media passed it along to the public. That's all we can go by.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess Cold Truth ain't going to come up here and speak her mind tonight, did she?
Come on, Cold.
Yeah, no. I want to hear it. I'm behind video to chat ratio. Had to pause.
Go ahead, Mel. Come on in.
I'm looking to see who's all in the chat.
You should have seen my face when you said you were calling me up here, Frank. I was like, "What?"
I when I was texting you, I told you
I didn't know.
I'd rather it come from you.
Oh, she wants the link.
I want you to get the exposure now because you're behind the scenes doing a little bit of work for some creators, and you need that exposure now.
Mel wants the link, Frank.
Oh shit, she's gonna start bitching. It's all right. It's that night. It's open mic night. It's what I said, didn't I? There you go, Mel. Oh yeah. Marine says, "Damn, I'm late." Send Mel the link. Where you at, Mel? Yeah. Wait on her. I love when she's on my panel. Can't wait. She comes up here. Come on, girl.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get in, you know.
She's her own creator, so she knows how to get in here.
Oh.
There she is. There she is. There she is. What's up?
Hey, Mel.
Hey, Randy. Hey, is it Leslie?
Yeah.
You look so familiar to me.
Huh?
You look so familiar. I've met you before.
I don't know.
So what's going on with you, lady?
This is my first time on one of these channels, so
what's going on with you, lady?
Sorry, am I still echoing?
Yes.
Yeah, somewhat.
Hold on just a sec.
She's watching other YouTube on her phone, and she's on her computer.
Oh, I have so many windows open. I don't even know what's what.
Right. Nidra Griffin, good to see you. Colleen Henson.
Why are you gonna say I'm gonna come up here and be bitching?
No, I love it when you come up here, bitch, because you speak truth. But I love it when you come up here, and I just told him that. I did. You got.
Well, Randy
I know
and
you.
I did. We
you
talked today,
want.
and we talked to Thomas, and I understand where they're both coming from, and I mean, I think that for me, it's just like I can't leave people out just because I really like them. If I'm going to stand for something, I'm going to stand for it like all the way, regardless of adversity. And so, you know, the way I feel about Greeno, and I think that it's backed up by tons and tons of proof that he is a true crime case, not a true crime creator. And so, you know, like I think that we all get in this, especially I was talking to Frank about this earlier, in this Delphi community, even though like that's why I ask people, like, do you know what my about section, have you read my about section? Like, I don't have, I cover, you know, I want to bring awareness to the true crime cases and the creators that re-victimize victims. You know, that's like my whole, that's what my channel is. When I moved from a podcast to YouTube, that's been written there this whole time, is to expose creators that are doing what Greeno did to Miss Cheryl and Miss Ginger and Miss Dottie and Miss Anna and Miss Becky, and I could go on and on. And so when I take a stand for something, I have to stand for it. And like, I love Randy, and I think that you know, this whole, I can't ever say the word right, simulcasting. Simulcasting.
Yeah.
Well, when Greeno's been doing it, it's slimy, you know, like he did that to a girl last week that she didn't even tell her that he was coming on her show, but he was also streaming it on his channel at the same time. And so like, but I still feel the way I feel, and I can't like back down from that. You know, I think that we all get lumped into this like Delphi community. And so everybody really, in all of our chats and all the people that watch all of us, he gives us all a bad name, you know, and like,
well, the issue I had is I didn't really mention his name, but I talked to you about this earlier today, and I said I had two people approach me telling me that they didn't like my channel because I supported a con man, and I was like, oh, whoa, hold on here. Well, where the hell did you get that from? You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. I do not support him. You know, I don't have no contact with him because somebody sent me another message saying that it was brought up on another channel that Greeno said that anybody fucked with him to let me know and I would take care of it. Let me tell you something. That will never happen. If something happens to that young man, it's probably because he brought it upon himself.
Yeah.
Now, like Randy, he's got a lot of health issues. I love Randy to death. And if he was to fuck up, he knows I would say something to him. I will defend that man to the day I die. Anybody messes with Randy, you need to come through me. And I'm specifically saying that right now. You need to come through me. I'm telling you that right now. Don't fuck with Randy. That's all I got to say about that. Sorry for the language, people, but you know, there's a lot of shit that's been going on here in the last couple weeks to a month, and I'm on another rant again because I keep seeing it continue. And it's ridiculous.
You know, and that's the thing, is like Randy is the true OG of,
yes, right.
Literally, even for me, I have family that they don't really watch, they don't even watch me, and they watch Randy. Like my uncle watches Randy, and I hear about everything that Randy does because my uncle is such a big fan, like literally everything, you know, like especially like the Hatfields and like that kind of stuff, and Delphi. I'm like, I didn't even know you followed murder. And I'm like, what are you talking? He's like, you told me about Randy. It's like, oh yeah. So I mean, Randy knows that I have so much love and I do respect Randy. I think that Randy is one of the kindest, best-hearted people in this space. And I think that when I don't want to see, I didn't like I tried to do it in the best way I could, but I have to be fair. You know, if I'm going to post that and expose people that are continuing to, because when you're on a panel with a guy like that, like you're basically in a sense co-signing in my opinion, you know. And it's like, I think that Randy got into a situation that he didn't even know he was in, and then like, he is a very kind guy, and I don't like seeing that exploited at all. Yeah. But you know, like, it's a decision, and I can't, you know, like, it's people got to make up their own minds, but I have to be true to myself, and I will continue to do that regardless of who it pisses off. That's just
Randy's
how
got
I
a lot
feel.
of fans.
Yeah, and Frost, like, I think he's a great guy. Like, he has got a really kind heart too. And, you know, just because like I really, really like them, when I'm making a point in a post, like, I can't just be like, well, I'm not going to call them out because they're my, you know, my YouTube friends. Like, it's got to be.
Sabi must be in the chat somewhere. He's talking to
Kimo Sabi.
Yeah, he said, I think RA definitely had possession of something that he could never explain away. The searchers found one of Libby's shoes just moments before finding her.
Yeah, thank you, Ivy. That's what I'm trying to say, but failing. You can't give your friends passes either, no matter how much you love them. Otherwise, you're being a hypocrite. Yeah.
Hey, trust me, Sleuth, he doesn't do it publicly, and if he sees me fucking up, he'll have me come into a Discord lounge with a couple people, and he'll call me out just to let me know, hey, you need to correct this, or you fucked up on this, or whatever. You know, and that's what you do with what you did with Randy. You did it behind the scenes, you know, and that's the way it should be, you know. And I understand where you're coming from, Mel, because Randy got put in a position, like I said, you said, he probably didn't even know.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's like, that was kind of like, and I think that Thomas Frost handled, you know, when we conversated privately, like I don't think I would upset him by saying, like, I was impressed with the way that he handled it, and I was impressed with the way Randy handled it too. You know, because I didn't really know what to expect. I was just
Frosty was pretty pissed because he texted me at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes, he sure
did.
But
you know, like, it's not something that I'm going to stop doing. I'm going to continue to make those same exact. I'm just going to use that same format, and I'm going to keep doing it because it's. I feel that that's the way that I can best help in this space.
Hey, Ivy, do you want to come up, hon? It looks like you need to talk.
Oh, Ivy's amazing. And that, you know, and that was a big thing too, was here's a perfect example. Okay. So Frank and I, not the new Frank guy, I
call him Little Frank. I call him Little Frank.
I went on his channel.
I'm the original Frank.
Yeah. So I went on his channel on Sunday, and we did a case that is about it's a domestic violence related homicide. And so Frank looked up this guy's complete criminal history, and when we saw it, it was like, wow. Like, he has literally, like, the incident that happened that occurred at this woman's death, he had done the exact same thing prior in his criminal history. So when we're looking at these cases, like, criminal history, it does apply, but everyone wants to give Greeno a pass, and that's just unacceptable to me. You know, I'm not, you know, for me to go onto a channel and then and to have that Rosemary's Family contacting me, I'm not going to stand next to someone who is going around supporting a domestic violence habitual offender. I'm just not going to do it. And it doesn't need to come from me. You can look it up for yourself.
I need to stop you for just a second. I just got a message. And if you're a mod in another channel coming into my chat and listening in and taking shit back to that other channel, I know who you are. And if I hear my name mentioned on that channel, I'm going to call you out. Thank you very much. You can continue now.
Yeah. You know, I think that like everyone thinks I'm obsessed, or it's some kind of like, I would stop. Like I said this a long time ago. I told the dude, if you screw them over, if you steal money from them, I will go level 12 psycho on you. And he stole money from them. I have it in writing. I can show you the screenshot. And I said, if you do it, I will go level 12 psycho on you. And he did. And I did too. I keep my promises. But then it became something deeper than that, because then I realized that this wasn't just someone that was taking advantage of victims' families and using them. It became like this huge pattern of behavior that is why I'm here in the first place. Like I'm here. I started in true crime when I was just a little girl and my aunt was murdered by kind of a stalker type. So that really intrigued me. And then when I would get to go to the library, I would sneak off to that section. And then my friend was murdered in a domestic violence situation. And that really, after her murder, that was when I really started to delve into the psychology of it, because I had healing to do in my own relationship and figure things out so that I didn't repeat any history. And like so when I see something that is likened to the person that I loved that was taken from me from a monster, I'm going to do that on my channel. You know, like in my opinion, like his criminal history, like if something that doesn't intervene, it is going to lead that way, because we all follow patterns in true crime. When you look at a case, you're like, oh, what did they do before? You know, and people think that I'm like against, you know, second chances, and that's not it at all. I mean, it's
there are the occasional people that just snap on one particular day, that they just snap and lose their, you know, and their whole life gets flipped upside down.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
like Richard Allen. Like Richard Allen.
There are people that are there's a pattern, a clear pattern.
Yeah, I think that he had something dark in his mind before, but I mean, you know, whether it's a situation of you know, robbery or whatever, or, you know, there's sometimes that, you know, things go, you know, awry, and you know, it's, I don't know, but that, I don't think that they're all sociopaths and psychopaths, you know.
No, I don't either. I don't think Richard Allen is. I really don't.
You don't?
I think he's a compartmentalizer. I think that there's something going on with his brain. I've met people like this where something really heinous can happen, or something can happen to them, or that they could do to someone else, and they can just kind of mentally put that in a little box inside of their brain, tuck it away, and they're able to forget that even happened, you know, and they can go on.
Right.
I think it's eating them alive.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think once it was exposed,
I think it's eating them alive now. Honestly, I do.
Well,
that's what I think now. But like, I think that the reason why he was able to just, you know,
put it all in the back of his brain
was because he could delusion himself into like just kind of tucking that away. And
right, exactly. And that's what a lot of serial killers the same way. Think about it. They kill somebody and they could put that in the back of their brain like nothing ever happened and go on to the next one.
Yeah, and I think there's different like levels of that. You know, I'm not a psychologist, I just do a lot of reading. So, you know, like take that for what it is. But I think there's levels to it. You know, like I watch, my mom is one that like she can put traumatic or bad experiences into just like a little box and then like tuck them away and like completely just like pretend like you would think they never happened until something triggers it and that box gets opened. And then it's, you know, something that she's had to work on throughout her life. So that's why, like, as an adult now, I know about it, you know,
Right.
of the traumatic things that she went through as a child. She was able to just literally shut that off and like it did not exist. And then you end up,
I would like to know if Richard Allen had any mental issues, period,
before all this.
before or in his youth, because we all know he was adopted. We know that. And a lot of kids that are adopted do have some type of mental issues or depression or anger issues or something like that. And I wonder if he ever went through any of that stuff.
yeah,
You know, it makes
I
me
do have
wonder.
to say, like,
for
it's
now, I think he's in the best place at Wabash. I think he's getting better treatment for, you know, psychology and you know, internal medicine, dentist.
you
I
know,
think that he's getting all that treatment now. We're at Westville.
right.
I
It's
mean,
never going to be
see,
enough though for
I mean,
anyone with an
I mean,
agenda.
the
Yeah.
3 or 4 hearings that I've been to so far, there was a big difference between the first time, the second time, the third time, and fourth time that I saw him. Big difference. His demeanors, his appearance, everything.
Oh yeah, especially when we saw him when he came in. It's like he's losing weight every time he comes in.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden he's starting to put weight back on. His face is filling out. We heard him talk, and I'm here to tell you guys, I heard
His
BG.
voice.
Yes, I heard BG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He walked right by me, and Kathy sat right in front of me, and he turned around, looked at his mom and Kathy, and said hi. Then he went up to the table, and the judge was directly asking him questions, and you can hear him answer clear as day.
Yeah.
You know, but what do I know?
I'm watching, Angel Bear and I have been talking about this on and off for a while now. The Bryce Rhodes trial is like day 2 today was day 2. And there's like obviously the crimes and then the perpetrator are not similar really at all. But the procedural part of this trial, I really think that it's going to end up being very reminiscent of what we would see if Delphi ever is, you know, a jury trial for one, and if it is publicly aired for 2. But the things that have happened in that case, for one, it's the same amount of time distance. So, you know, you've got 20, I think it was 2016, you know, and so when you're calling witnesses, this is something that's going to come up with Delphi. And
Right.
like there's already some evidence that was lost, and just like all of these different procedural type, you know, agency and jury, like, you know, in the judicial branch and in the governing agencies that investigated this case. So it's going to be interesting to see like how it plays out. You want to be above reproach, and unfortunately,
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the defense asked for a change of venue.
again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
you're going to have the jury coming out of Allen County, where the judge is from. I mean, that's just weird. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
When they put a special judge in place from one county, and
but-
then all this.
If you remember back, that was based on the investigation from the defense.
Well, yeah,
That
they got to
was the
change the
defense
venue,
and
but now that the situation has gone awry with Judge Gold,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if this defense team is going to ask for a change of venue again.
I think that that's a possibility just because now there's been more attention on her. But
Right.
in the beginning, like, I just don't want people to forget that wasn't her. She didn't just like, oh, I'm picking my own county. No, that was the county that the defense chose because of the way it polled.
Right.
So that's not on her. But I mean, I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? And when you go into the, Supreme Court, like this is the precedent type situation we're in right now. So like I got all these people coming at me. I'm like, are you going to apologize if you're wrong? I'm like, yeah, I usually do. I don't care. I'm just saying, like, let's look at the other side. If you want to stand on his constitutional rights being violated, yet you want to push under the rug everything that his own defense team did that has put his constitutional rights in jeopardy. Like,
in danger.
stop
It,
it.
it almost makes me feel like they
If you
did
can
this
read, then
intentionally.
you can
I
read
agree.
the ADA.
I agree
Simple
with
as that.
that because
I-
they wanted all the evidence out to begin with. They asked for it to be all taken out, and then isn't it kind of strange that all of a sudden they're the ones that are,
No.
these pictures are coming out, and it's like things that make you go, So
And ignorance is not an excuse, especially in
oh no, it isn't.
in the there is a strict like rule of defense attorneys. Like there's it's, you can read it online. Like, and I just read probably through like 13 rules, standard 13, and I had already found 4 that they violated of their own client.
yeah.
And I didn't even get into the parts where they're trying to open a civil case for a case that they're trying to, they're the defense attorneys in a criminal matter for the same defendant. Like that is not heard of. Like that is a conflict of interest, and the interest is money, and you're already complaining about money. So it's like, I mean, there's just been so many things that they've done that's so shady that people they're not talking about it because of, like, I get it. Like, so I feel super defensive because I see all of these people attacking the prosecution, the investigative parties, and the judge. And I'm sorry, you're not going to convince me. Like, okay, maybe if you wanted to center it around Liggett or Doolin or Hammond, and then okay, maybe
You're making a good point. You're making a good point here, because when have you seen the prosecution leak anything? Photos.
Well, they haven't. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
Spoke at one press conference and he gave the bare minimum of what, like, I'm pretty sure that was Doug Carter. Like, obviously this case is going to require a press conference, but other than that, we haven't heard from the man. And I think he's doing great considering.
Yes.
I'm glad that he has a co-counsel now. I think he's really going to need to rely on that guy for this. But when you're talking conspiracy, so now, first, to start out, just this little crew, and then you're going to add a bunch of state police, and then you're going to add in some FBI agents, and then you're going to add in the prosecutor and the prosecutor's office, and now you're going to add in. So, in order for this conspiracy to cover up what really happened, you got a judge in another county that has to be involved in your conspiracy, and that's ludicrous. The Freemasons and the Odins and all, like, what the hell is going on? I mean.
Right.
Well, they're
Do
the
you
ones
really think that the Freemasons would ever cover anything up for the Odins?
No. It's like,
that's ludicrous.
It's like they want to.
You got me laughing back here. Sorry, I'm having a Scooby snack and listening.
I'm just saying.
You're right though. And I hear this stuff about the Freemasons.
Shit. It's embarrassing, and the Supreme Court involved from a bunch of lawyers that decided to right fight. I'm sorry, I'm going to get on stuff, but literally a bunch of lawyers that decided to right fight. And you know why they did it? I know why they did it, because as soon as that shit was filed, where were they at? On YouTube lives, telling about what did I do? So shut the hell up. They have an agenda, and those same lawyers know exactly what I'm talking about with the defense attorney and attorney code in the state of Indiana. It is in black and white print, and you're going to choose a side because you want something out of it. And like, most people don't ever look into anything other than a superficial level. And so now what's happened is we've got people that don't even pay any attention to true crime would never have known anything about this, but they're getting drug into it by all of these agenda-seeking succubuses. And him getting a fair trial and this not ending up in an appeal, like,
that was the whole intention.
stop interfering. Like, we can't, when a case gets into the adjudication process, there's nothing more we can do than to educate people of how that process works.
Hey,
there's no more awareness. There's no more anything. I want to understand what the hell is going on with Richard Allen. He's an outlier to me, and I hate outliers. Like, because I don't understand. You know, it's just like hard to understand. Like,
listen
Chris
to
Watt.
this. I researched that attorney for Westerman. This damn dude was facing 10 years in prison for
Of course he was. Of course.
habitual drinking and driving charges.
Yeah.
I see, and he works for Baldwin. I'm like, you got.
Oh, you're talking about Hennessy?
No, the one Westerman hired.
Well, Hennessy he had gotten pulled over too for DUI.
I couldn't believe
The
it. I was
Baldwin
like,
attorney
whoa.
that he hired.
Typed his name in Google, and there it was. And I said, "Are you kidding me?"
But I have to say, I think that Judge Gall made a huge mistake. Like, there's a clear guideline in the state of Indiana for disqualification of lawyers. And she should have followed that, you know, like she should have, point blank period. I think she was trying to give them a pass and it blew up in her face. And whatever the outcome of that, it doesn't change my mind that I don't think that there is some cover up conspiracy and we've got to have a ground vert for it. Like, not this dude. Like, the probable cause affidavit stands on itself as far as the public is concerned. Sorry, that's how I feel. You know, the 136 page, brilliantly elementary Frank's motion, you know, was definitely for the public, and it did exactly what they wanted.
Magnificent piece of art.
Well, it's an oxymoron, is what it is.
Isn't that what
it's
he said?
oxymoronic.
It
was brilliant. It was brilliant. Not going to deny it.
A brilliant piece of artwork is exactly what he said. I said, "Oh my God, he's pulling out the big guns now."
I say it's. Oh, are you talking about Mata?
No, this was Hennessy when he said that about the memorandum.
Well, see, that's the thing is, it really was. Like, I think it was super elementary the way that it was written, and I think it was completely intentional. It was meant to provoke. The judge didn't need any of that. They had already submitted a motion to suppress the fruits of the search warrant that was still, I believe, still awaiting ruling. And then they did this. So when they did this, like, they were definitely, they had an angle, and it was to get everybody all involved and all upset. And guess what? It worked. But none of that was prudent.
Randy?
Yeah, we lost Randy.
He's gone. And I'm like, huge. Why are we so big, Frank? Let's stop that.
I'm not big. It's on your end.
Are you big? Did you just grow by like 200%, Leslie?
I did.
I totally feel like half myself now.
You need to
All
change.
I see is Frank's little green head, though. You know, he's not even on camera right now.
Mel, you need to change the setting on your camera.
Dude. It says, I don't know. I don't have any settings on it. It just aims at me. I can make it go up or down, but I try not to because usually it falls off and then I'm screwed.
You got one like I got one sitting on top of the monitor.
Hey, I'm on my phone,
it's on its own stand, and it clamps into the stand. And I just feel like it's always upside down because the GI, it's called Logi, is on the side instead of the bottom. So every time I put it in there, I put it in there like that. And then I'm like, I'm sideways.
Do you guys mind if I exit
Yep, go ahead.
and go get back in bed?
She got out of bed.
Show?
Shit.
Well,
Yeah,
it's so
that's
nice to
fine,
meet
Angela.
you.
Thank you. And once
I
again,
appreciate you having
Please
me on. Thank you.
educate people about the prisons and like what's going on with Westville, because like
Oh, this one's at Wabash.
Wabash, yeah.
This one's
Wabash.
the big one. They've got 2,000 inmates there. So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's people that are spreading, already misinformation that it's way worse and like, no, it's some kind of conspiracy
well, the
that they're
food's
gonna.
horrible. I'm going to tell you that right now. The food's
Well,
horrible.
like prison, jail.
But they're
I
they're
mean,
being taken care of.
yeah, they have it.
I
They
mean,
have the staff.
and they once you are in Gen Pop, you play pickleball, you play ping pong, you do rec, you have a job, that's
Mhm.
what happens in there. So I mean, it's like a city within a city.
If you want
and
to.
and they and people that it's like we don't get visits. Well, since COVID, most people don't visit anyway in person. They do it through Skype. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Richard Allen is going to be getting his visits through his his attorneys. They're going to be doing it through Skype. It's not going to be one-on-one.
Yeah.
Gail
I
heard
personally feel like it's just I can't. I mean, there's a lot of kids in school that can't afford. I know there's programs in school, but there's like single moms out there that could probably really use an iPad to go to school or to and then like this whole thing with prisoners giving, and inmates having, chirping and
They pay for
devices
it.
is I
It's
don't like
paid
it.
for. It's paid for by the inmate and by their families and their friends.
Well,
It's
that's
nothing that
fine.
comes for
It's
free.
just like,
who made that comment.
I don't know why, like
This
you're in
gal.
prison. You should have, like it just seems to be lessening the punishment, I guess.
And see, the whole problem with this whole situation going on.
Because the people you murder don't get a, Skype and text message their relative and, like
No.
The whole problem
you
with
get a visit once a month, a phone call. Like I get all that, but all of this new, just because we have
they
all
used
of
to.
the technology doesn't mean that they are afforded it under the
Well,
Constitution.
I mean, anymore, if you send them snail mail, they have to recopy that snail
Oh, I
mail
know.
and not give it to the inmate on the original paper because they were getting drugs passed through on the paper that they were getting the snail mail on. So now they have to recopy it. So it's crazy. But
Did you
guys, I'm
guys
going to
know
go.
that Rex Heuermann, the one of the Long Island serial killers, because there's been a few in the history of Long Island, is pen pals with, is it BTK? I think it's BTK. Yeah. Like, huh? They're allowed to they talk to each
I
other.
don't know about what they're allowed to be able to do if they can communicate. If two felons can communicate with each other, I don't know that they would allow that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the smiley face killer. Yeah.
But they also get all those that mail gets
Happy
all
face.
screened. It all gets screened,
Yeah, it does.
and copied. So,
but after RA was moved, he talked about his dad being in Wabash not long ago. The dad, he came on crying. Oh yeah, he did. I think I have that video saved. Yeah, he came on a live and pretended that his dad died.
Can I cut you ladies off for a minute? I wanted to get something in here.
Put your camera back.
She's just trying to go to bed, and I'm trying to talk. She's like, "Shut up, Mel. I'm going to bed."
The most bothering thing of this whole situation to me is that it has gotten away from what the whole purpose of us all being here for.
Getting justice for Libby and Abby.
You're damn right. And the defense is the one who caused all this. And too bad that we've got some uneducated, not so bright, smart people out there that have fell for their little trick. and it's just sad. You know, I spoke to Becky the other day because of documents and stuff like that, and she said, all I want is truth and fact out there. And this is what this should be. And we've got these other people out here putting all this other misinformation out there, and it shouldn't be happening. I understand they're doing it for clicks and everything, man, but you're making yourself look bad at the end of the day.
I'm real happy where RA is sitting
I
right
think
now.
the setting is on your end.
Do what?
It's on StreamYard. Like if you change the setting, we wouldn't be so weird looking.
I think he's on. I see a little green man. Uh-oh.
Well,
There
that's
we
way
go.
better.
Now I see a little big green man.
I'm not a green man, but I'm a big man.
But your head is little green man. I don't see your face.
That's Frankenstein.
I know.
But yeah, I was listening to Humanimal the other night, and like it was a great discussion on Rex Heuermann and like understanding like the mind of like digging deep into that. And like she had said that, and I was just like, that is crazy. But yeah, the chat was right. I think someone said a happy face killer. Jesperson, I can't remember his first name, but a real evil man for sure. So brutal.
And it's awful funny that they put him down there where Keegan and Chadwell are at.
He doesn't have any contact with them.
Yeah, I mean that's.
No, he doesn't have any contact with it. He doesn't. They're not. They're in different buildings.
They
I mean,
like
there's like
the people that made that decision know nothing about that. Like that decision it has nothing to do with anything related to Chadwell or Kagan. Yeah, it's kind of like, oh wow, they're all there just together, but they're not together at all.
But I think it's kind of interesting that they're all getting the same psychiatrist.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that would be.
But you already know the judges are denied getting his medical records, so that's out the window.
But I do know that in order to be a like in that particular, that's a PhD. I think it's past a PhD, isn't it? It's like you have to get a specialty after PhD to do the psych evals for
Would that be a master's?
Prisons. No, it's a doctorate.
I don't know anything about that stuff, so. And I talk to a psychiatrist every 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, I got an appointment at 11 a.m. in the morning.
Keith, that's it. Thank you, Sparky. Yeah. But I just feel like everything like with Delphi is just like mountains out of molehills, It's like, but just for people to not really realize, like, I saw it pissed me off, and I was already pissed off at the dude before seeing this. But to trick like Erskine into a phone conversation and like, I mean, that's completely interfering. And you don't have a right to do that or put that information out. Like, if you want to say you're all about justice for Abby and Libby, then don't do shady shit like that. Otherwise, get out of here. You're patronizing and you don't stand for anything. You're a hypocrite.
Are you talking about
deduction? You're a hypocrite. Huh?
Yeah. See, I had a little bit of issue with him because he was claiming that I was the master leaker.
Master leaker of what?
The crime scene photos.
Oh no! Yeah. I never heard that one.
Yeah, he did a whole show on it.
Well, he accuses a lot, like and just wild out accusations with no proof. Well, I was contacted by.
He confronted Becky about it, and Becky stopped him in his tracks because she sent me a message said, "Hey, this and that," and I just started laughing.
I was contacted by that same guy, and everything that guy was telling me, I was like, damn, like, like I can see it because I had been looking into this particular topic for some time privately for quite a while. So when this guy contacted me, it was all tracking. And I asked him, I said, I'm going to need to see proof. Like I need to, I believe you,
right?
but I need to see it. And he couldn't, like I still believe the guy, but he was unable to give me any kind of receipts, or he didn't want to. And I was like, man, that's too bad. Like, that's it. Like,
And
done.
see, and like Ivy Rose says, he's always wrong, then claims he was saying it on purpose to find out things. See, remember when I called him out last week, Ivy Rose, and told him, I said, I know exactly what you're doing, dude. You're going and watching other people's stuff. You're picking out stuff out of their channel that they're saying, and you're creating your own stuff and twisting it, knowing you're lying, knowing that people's going to correct you. I picked up on it real quick. And it's just like I told him the other night. I said, how did it work out for you going to Becky and claiming that stuff? I said, didn't it work out too well, did it, before you did it? I said, man,
Where did Randy go?
He
Oh,
just
sorry.
left. But
Yeah,
I told him, I said, dude, if you want to know anything or whatever, then you got to do it like the rest of us do. It's leg work. I started from the bottom. Just don't think you're just going to walk right in on your white horse thinking you're going to save the day on Delphi, because it doesn't work like that. And it's really starting to aggravate a lot of people. And I mean, I'm sure he's a good kid because I really don't know him as a person, but the things he's doing is just not correct. I mean, it's just not correct. Oh, Randy's had a show. That's what it was. Thank you, GP. You know, I mean, I really don't know the kid, and he did apologize to me for that whole situation when it came down to Becky. And there's been times I've been in his chat, and there's been things and said, and I make a correction, and he'll thank me for it and stuff like that. You know, but with this thing with Dave Erskine's and his timeline is just, you saw the timeline, didn't you, Mel?
I just saw. I mean,
I know Ivy did.
It's hard to follow because it's just so. I don't even know the word. I'm not even going to give it a word. Okay.
Right. I mean,
but
I know he wants to be in the know with everybody, but there's just certain ways to go about doing it, man. And
yeah, Texas is a one-party state, you know. So okay, but like, and then the whole gag order thing. But I don't know. I just think that like you're not entitled to that information and pretend like you're going to set the record straight and you're helping someone out when you're the one that's really screwing them over. Like, come on.
And see, look, what Ivy Rose, she brings a good point here. He talks shit about people not believing Erskine, then said Erskine was a liar after all because he doesn't know the details. Well, you know, exactly. He's just throwing that shit out there to get the real information. Dude, vet it first before you put it out there.
Anybody could say that, though. Like,
you know? I mean, I'm just like, when claiming to be the person that found the girls when he's not. He's not the one. And it is not my position to tell anybody the true story on how the girls were found. It is, I'm not telling nobody that. If the family wants to know how it actually happened, they can tell you.
Yeah.
So
it should have been for the jury. You know, the people that need to know, obviously the investigative parties, the prosecution, the judge, and the jury.
Right.
Because even at trial, like, yes, I've seen both where the public, you know, is shown give like the same projector or you know, TV or whatever they use, but like at other trials, the jury is the only one that sees that stuff, you know. It just depends. So
Leslie,
you know,
Leslie,
like,
if you have to go to bed, honey, you can go back to bed if you want, Leslie.
Okay.
We're not
You don't mind?
No, not at all.
good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Hey,
Everybody.
keep
I
me up to
appreciate thank you for having me on.
keep me up to date on what you find out more about down in Wabash.
I will.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. But I mean, she is right though. And then where's the other comment? There it is, V Marie. And he said some not nice shit about Anna. It pissed me off. I heard about that too, and I was just like, you got to be kidding me. You're going to really come out on your platform and say that? Really?
Yeah. The entitlement that some
I'm
people
just
have,
like,
it just astonishes me, Frank. Like they think, oh, well, I'm
I'm
trying to
just,
help. You're getting in the way of me helping. What? Like, this is their child that is no longer alive. And you're going to come at them. Well, I'm just trying to help you. And you're being a jerk. You're not entitled to anything. You're like,
I'm just like,
Well,
and that's why I tried to emphasize to him when I called him out on a couple lives ago. And I said, look, dude, you're going about it the wrong way. I said, first of all, you're not entitled to shit. I said, you've got to start from the bottom like the rest of us did. Don't think you're just going to ride in your white horse and everything's going to fall in your lap, because that's not how it works.
well,
It
that's
took
the
me,
thing.
you know what I'm saying? It took me over 2 years to get the position I'm in, and I'm still not where I want to be.
Right.
Like
there is a group on YouTube that, or not on YouTube, but Facebook, that literally are like, they're not creators, but like they have been at day one and every day after, not just day one and sporadically here and there, like literally every day. And like we see who comes and goes, and like every new little, like there Delphi creators come in waves, and you've got the 2017, which is very few. Honestly, it's very few, even though people say that they've been covering this since the very beginning. They haven't. Not even me. Yes, I've been following it from the beginning, but I never covered it. Not until, never really. Like, so, like then there's another group of creators that come in, like Gray Hughes he started covering it. I'm pretty sure it was like in February or March of 2017. And there were a few others, not very many that I can think of. And then you have the 2018 wave, and then you have a 2019 wave of creators, and a 2020, and every year it just keeps going. And then every time there's a new group that comes out, like they literally think they know everything and they've got everything figured out. And everybody that's been around is wrong until they finally come around to the fact that, oh no, and then they pretend like they came up with it on their own. It has been rinse, wash, repeat for.
Yeah, you are correct on that. I would have to say you are, and
rinse, wash, repeat. And then everybody that, like, all the new people, like literally like, well, I'm the one that came up with that. I'm like, you like, what? It's like Greeno trying to claim that he had the killer profiled, and like
and then for him to secretly record Dave Erskine's,
that's
dirty.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Yes, Ivy Rose is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah, well, I don't play that. Yeah,
See,
I'm not the one. And that's why it pissed me off with the Greeno stuff, is my name is now attached to him on the Rosemary Rodriguez case. And now we've got a case where that family has contacted me, and I have a responsibility. Like we have a higher responsibility for being here. And, like, to associate yourself the very next week, within 2 weeks of you being there to support that family that has just gone through this, and then to get on a live with a guy that is no different than Curtis is.
Right.
That's where I'm like, no, I'm not going to stand for it. And I'm mad that now I was on a live on that channel with a dude that is going to say one thing and do another. The criminal history is important when it comes to covering this Rosemary Rodriguez, but the criminal history is all of a sudden thrown out the window because you want some cred to be on Greeno's live. Like, what? Stop it.
V.
Not gonna
Marie
stand for it.
says Dave Erskine said it on the interview with Art of Deduction. You know what? Did you hear what Dave Erskine said?
I was listening to it like
It was in reference to Anna. It was in reference to Anna.
Dave said something about Anna.
Yeah.
I heard him ask him like, "Why don't you talk to Anna?"
And then the conversation went on, and Dave said that something to the fact, damn, Anna got fat or she got big or something. And I'm like, whoa, man, that's your stepsister, dude. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I mean,
oh,
just because I don't
God.
agree with Fink doesn't think I think that Erskine is a cool dude or a great guy. Like, I don't know anything about him. I just think that it was shady.
Yeah,
And
it was.
all in the name of I'm helping to try to get justice for Abby and Libby. Yeah, like, well, that's in the prosecutor. That's the prosecutor's job, not you, mofo. Like, stop it.
This account says, I don't blame the wives or families of those arrested for these.
Yeah, that is so uncalled for. And that's like a thing. Like, I don't know why. I think it's maybe just like low emotional IQ for people to immediately like attack the way you look,
Right.
Like, get some better if that's your best, like I think it's funny, like do something about your hair. You look like a Cabbage Patch. Like, yeah, I kind of do actually. Like, it's not, can't take those kinds of disses seriously, but at the same time it's like, get some better content of like this misogynistic approach of like, these dudes do realize that their audiences are predominantly women, right? It's like,
well, mine's 79%.
that's predominant.
Yeah, I
So
still,
to get on a live and call,
I
your
check-
chatters the C word and the W word and the B word, and then make fun of the way they look and call them fat. Like, what? What are you doing? And why are women okay with it? Like, I'm not a feminist.
I check my analytics after 24 hours after doing a live. And when I look and I'm like, damn, where are all the men at that they're in my chat? It's all women. And I'm like, come on, guys. You don't want to be in the chat with women or what? Cynthia again said, thank you for all you do, Frank. Thank you to all the hard work, the mods. Take care. Good night, Cynthia. Have a good night. Thank you
thanks, CJK.
Thanks for becoming a member today.
This ponytail is giving me a headache, though. I'll tell you that.
Cindy Lean, Brad, I misspelled your YouTube name. Oh, that's outside the grid. Leslie Kingston, thank you for the super sticker $9.99. And we got Criminal TV, Criminality. Hey, yeah, I stopped in her chat earlier. Just wanted to say thank you for coming by earlier. I really appreciate your input. No problem, young lady. No problem. Maybe we can get together and do a show or something together sometime. Give me a second and I will post my email. And if you want to get a hold of me, there it is. There is my email. If you want to do some work together, just get a hold of me. There, Criminality.
Hey, Tech Dev. Hey, Criminality. I'm not like, it's not like a faithful thing, but I've been kind of like checking Criminality out actually quite a bit here.
Yeah, I was in there a little bit earlier today.
But some good stuff, like, yeah. I think that the way
she's got a hell of a following, I can tell you that.
I think the way that she approaches things is I wish I could be that like diplomatic, like, just a I don't know. I just, there's something about it that I really resonate with and I like it. So yeah, been checking her out.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
And Deb. There's Deb.
She's been here for a while.
One of these days I'm gonna go to Deb's house and we're gonna like create a little.
Well, you guys are only about 45 minutes from each other.
I know. We met up, but we're gonna create a little skit in her basement.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying outside the grid, but
That's the word, Ivy and Deb. Fair.
what's
Feel
going
like she
on,
seems
Tech?
very.
Yeah, I just got my ears lowered 3 days ago. The gray was starting to come in, and it was time to get a haircut.
I know. I got to color mine.
I've gained so much gray being involved in this case in the last 2 years. I'm just like, damn, you age that quick from something like this. But let's see who else we
It's
got.
never more noticeable than in presidencies. You know, whether
Really,
it's a 4 year and 8 year.
look at V. Marie says. Let's be honest, no one wants a sausage fest. Really? Hell, I don't even know if some of these names, if they're actually men or women. I don't know.
I hope so, Ivy.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few people in there today. We were discussing about what Libby was wearing, and I said, you guys have to look at it this way. You know, law enforcement informed the media of what was missing from the scene, and they made it perfectly clear there was a pair of underwear and a sock missing. They never said anything about a pair of jeans missing. Period. What'd you do? Just shut your camera off? And her mic. But yeah, it was never mentioned about a pair of jeans missing. So, I mean, where the hell this whole situation came with Libby's jeans wearing Abby, I just don't buy it. I have to go by what Ellie says, and what they say is fact. You have to look at it that way until proven differently. Oh, yeah, this account, what she just said. Who's T? Rescue all dogs.
What do you want for Christmas, Frank?
Nothing. I'm not a child no more.
Right?
Yeah. It's just like my birthday. My birthday's July 4th, and I don't even really celebrate it. I'm getting ready to be 55.
I try not to.
I'm getting ready.
I try to just hope everyone forgets that I'm a year older. One year, I probably didn't even know how old I was. Whole year, I thought I was 44.
There was one thing that my dad taught me about the situations like that. He always said, "You only have one birth date,
right?
And the rest are anniversaries."
That's a good point.
You know, so that's the way I look at it. Not even bother watching fireworks anymore. I could sit on my TV and watch it. Don't mean sit on my couch and watch it on TV. You know, I'm a hermit now.
Yeah.
Since I've been in the YouTube community, I've been doing not day in and day out on my phone watching shit. I'm not saying videos. I'm watching court cases, or I'm making sure no documents are coming in, or making phone calls. And that reminds me, I've got an update on the Jordan Sofer case, guys.
Oh, hopefully good news.
Yes. I advise Sleuth, because Sleuth's been working it. He works one end because he's working with he's been talking with the actual detective a couple times. Well, nobody's really worked it from the beginning, from the missing persons when she went missing. And there was a report filed. And so nobody took the time to get that file. So what I did is I called up there at the Wabash City Police Department. I spoke to the records lady. She said she had to put me on hold, and she had to speak with the chief about it. And she came back on and said the chief has to talk with the city attorney of Wabash to see if they're able to release anything out of that file, and they would get back to me. Well, they never got back to me. They got a 30-day grace period to get back with me. They never did. So I went right above their head and called the actual city attorney's office and spoke to him personally. Well, he got back with me on Monday and said that I went through the file, and I am advising the chief and the clerk to release it to you. But I've got a city council meeting I got to attend tonight, and I'll let them know there. Well, yesterday I get a call from his secretary, and she said, Mr. Lehman wanted me to call you to let you know that I've got a little form that I need you to fill out, just asking for my name, my address, my phone number, and the reasoning
Formality,
why I wanted to file. So I filled it out, sent it to the chief yesterday, and so I called to check on it today. They've got it, but the clerk, has been out sick for 2 days. So as soon as I get that file, well, I'll share it. I'll come live, and of course, I'm going to give the file to Sloot too, because he's also working that on his.
Yeah, he's definitely brought awareness for that one too. You both have done a really good job of that.
So once I get that file, I'll go live with it, and we'll go over whatever documents are in it. So that, I mean, it's a good start.
That'd be great.
It's a good
let me know if
start.
you need any help.
Yeah, it's
sure.
a good
you know
start.
How I like cold cases.
Right. I mean, the secretary actually went to school with Jordan, and I even questioned her why she was at work. And she said, I didn't really know her, but from all angles that I could notice back then, she was a popular girl, but she was quiet and kept to herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, but until I get those files, that's all we can do is just wait. You know, it's a start for me, at least. I want to see what the report says and what interviews were done and what's been redacted out of it.
Yeah, there's something about it that just
I've put two theories together.
I have a theory. I don't want to say it publicly, you know.
I mean, the detective that Sleuth's been talking to he firmly believes it was a homicide. Okay. And I have watched
Oh yeah.
And I have watched enough CSI actual crime scene shows with real crime scene investigators and texts and all that, and it was just skeleton remains that was left. Okay, the only way you could determine death typically with something like that is if like that bone in their neck is throat from being strangled. They could tell from that.
Occasionally, not always.
Yes. And like if they got stabbed, typically you'll hit one of the ribs, which will show a knife mark, something like that. Or if ribs were broken off, they could have had some type of blunt force trauma.
Any blunt force,
yeah, something like that. So I look at it at that angle. Then again, which I would have to say, this is just my opinion right now, that her boyfriend did it. And to me, it would make sense. That's why he committed suicide in 2013. And the other theory that I'm looking at is that we all know that she was into drugs. It's well known, and possibly overdosed, and the boyfriend freaked out and dumped her. Those are the two theories that I'm looking at right now. But if the detective is saying that he believes it was homicide, there's got to be something in the autopsy or something that's showing that. So
Jordan Sofer does it count?
Yes.
And then
so you got to remember there's two counties that's involved in the Jordan Sofer case. You got Wabash County and you got Miami County, because her remains were found in Miami County. But she went missing from Wabash County.
Yeah.
They found her remains somewhere in, I believe it was like halfway in between Wabash and Peru. On the Peru side.
Hello, Olivia.
Who's in here now?
Solaris, it's called I Just Washed It. And then it's also Goldwell color, the Goldwell color line, high gloss toners. It adds like a coat of gloss onto your hair. So, and then I obviously have to color my gray, so that color is shinier.
I'm neglecting the chat.
No,
Oh, I see where you're at.
I'm at the end. You're not ever. Sorry, dude, but
Well, when I get to talking, I ignore the chat for some reason. I can't keep up and talk at the
I
same
can't either. I'm horrible. Like all of a
time.
sudden, I'm just like, I thought I was on top of it, and then I realized I missed like a half an hour worth of chat. Like, oops.
Yes, criminality. And that's what I was just saying earlier. I said there's quite a few creators out there right now that have gotten away of what our real purpose for covering this case is, and it's justice for Abby and Libby. They've gotten away from that. They've basically made it about themselves and their
Yeah.
channel and creating bullshit to get the clicks and riding the coattails of the defense.
And I just want to say, like, to that too, of just like respect for Abby and Libby, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I am so disgusted anytime I
And
see a creator put that horrendous true crime disaster designs sketch on their screen. That is so disrespectful.
yeah.
Think if that was your
For
child.
the families to see that.
Like, yeah, like anyone that does that you should automatically call them out and leave. Like, that is so disrespectful. If you're here for the right reasons and you're in true crime for the right reasons, like, don't stand for something like that. I mean, that is just, I don't care if it's a drawing or rendition. It's false, for one. Like, she obviously has an agenda when she drew that, because it's not accurate. And
And
like,
it almost looks like an
that,
AI program that she used. That's what it looked
I
like.
don't care what she used, but to do that and to have people showing it on their channel, I don't care who they are, friend or foe. Like, I hate that. And use the right words. We're in the true crime community. Don't say unalived. Gosh, I've had to stop like following people that I really enjoy because of that. Like, I can't stand it. So disrespectful to the victims. Like, can't imagine if like my story got out there and like, say that guy did it to someone else, and they're saying that they won't even say that what really happened. You know, we're going to call it SA or grapes. Like, the worst things that could happen to humans, and you, because you wanted, you're not going to get a strike. Like, you might lose the 2 cents per 1,000 views that you get on the ad revenue being limited, but at least you're being true to the genre that you're covering. I take it up with YouTube any chance I get.
Right.
Because
Criminality
right.
says this account on and off for years. I didn't really follow during the KK stuff. And that reminds me, there's a couple of us that are looking at the KK angle again with some information that we had received. And so we're back at looking at KK, TK, and trying to get a connection between RA and M3. I've had somebody give me a link between them, but I can't vet it yet. So I just got to leave it at that right now. There is a link, but like I told you guys before, I confronted KK because I did get some factual information that Keegan's grandfather and Richard Allen lived a hop, skip, and a jump from each other in Wabash, Indiana at one point in time. So, and I confronted Keegan about that through chirping while he was at Miami County, and he would not respond to me with that when I questioned him about that. Yeah, but sometimes, Cindy, I will allow at points in time for people to let loose, but if it gets out of hand, I have my mods or myself have to put a stop to it. You know, and I've already made it clear 2024 I won't have such a big heart, because all this time with all this drama that's been going on for the last 6 months to a year between the channels, and I've kept my nose out of it. And it just got to the point where I got tired of seeing it, and all of a sudden my name was being brought up into stuff that had no business being brought up in, that I had nothing to do with. I finally just had enough of it. And from now on, I'm going to start speaking my mind if stupid shit keeps going on. And there's quite a few, and there's one specific woman in my chat right now that I adore tremendously, like an older sister. If she sees something, she calls me and advises me to watch out. And we speak basically on a daily basis. And if anybody, just like Randy, anybody goes at her sideways, you will hear from me. You will hear from me. And she knows who she is. I don't want to have to call her name out. Just like with Mel. She ever had any shit with you know who? Because she was supposed to go to the hearing and meet me and rescue and Laura, but Laura never showed up.
I thought it was going to be canceled, to be honest. I mean, how can they have a hearing? Like, I just didn't see like how they could possibly have a hearing with what had happened the night before, and they really didn't. They didn't really have one, so it was like.
No, it was the one in Delphi, the Halloween one that you guys were supposed to come, because I had just talked to you the night before, you and Laura.
Yeah, but no, it was the 19th one.
No, hon. No. Yeah, we were waiting for her. I said, man, where's Mel and Laura at? And I remember I told you guys, I said, if he shows up, just come and stand by me and a couple of us. He knows better than to come up here running them chops.
Yeah, he don't scare me.
Well, you know.
I just, like I told you, you know, my problem is like, Greeno is not the type, like what he did to Beauty and HCC at the Abby and Libby bike. I didn't go. I was going to go with him. And then, but like, I know myself really well. And if he accosted me with a camera, I would lose my mind. Like, I don't have, like, my temper would get the best of me. And I know that. So therefore, I'm not going to go out of respect for Abby, Libby, and their loved ones. And so that's the thing that I worry about with Greeno. Not that he scares me in any way, is that he's going to start a scene and I'm going to lose my temper, and the families don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. And like, that would crush me, you know, if that happened because of me being there and not being able to control my temper. So
they're talking about Jordan Sofer in the chat now. Yeah, I have reached out to him and the adoptive mother, and they would not respond to me. Why is that? I was going to say, they will not respond to me. Not at all, because they're on Facebook. They sure are. So you know what I did? I found another, I can't remember his first name, but his first name is Robert. I can't remember the last name. Robert Sofer. There's other Robert Sofer on Facebook, right? So I privately messaged him. I said, hey, are you related to Jordan Sofer? He's like, who's that? And I said, I started explaining the story to him, right? And I said, she was adopted by so-and-so, Robert Sofer, and you're a Robert Sofer. And I said, what's the coincidence that there's two Robert Sofers in the same city? He said, let me look into this. And he got back with me. And he said, yeah, he did. He said, yeah, we're related somewhere down the line. And and that was the end of that conversation. So the adoptive father, he's not responding to nobody. Because I'm telling you, if I could ever get a hold of him, I would secretly record the conversation and give it to the detective. I would. And the mother, you know. But yeah, something was fishy about that whole situation for her to leave her purse and her phone at home when her boyfriend dropped her off. And she allegedly went for a walk down the alley and said, I love you, kissed her dad goodbye. and never returned.
Something ain't tracking. Like it ain't.
And she's a female. Who in the hell, what female leaves their purse and their cell phone anywhere? You see what I'm saying? I mean, a cell phone, no disrespect to you women, but a cell phone is like a bra to a woman. It is. Yeah, you got to think about that. You know, they never leave that cell phone anywhere unless it's on accident. So that was awful strange. And then, like I
Unless
said,
you're my age or older, and
huh?
I had a flip phone until like 2012, I think. I don't think I had a cell phone until it was like 2010.
I think I got my first cell phone probably in the early 2000s. It was just the Akitas.
Nobody knows what, Lynn.
Well, where's she at? Were you at the bottom again?
Mm-hmm. I know you're not, so she's obviously asking a question somewhere.
Will his car have GPS tracking? Unless he had it removed, unless he had the track, it's in the computer. That's where the tracking device is at. All cars have GPS tracking devices.
What is it with men getting like the repeat of the same car over and over again?
Yeah, he had two different Ford Focuses, didn't he?
He was three. The same with Rex Heuermann. He kept getting those avalanches. My ex, he's driven the same, like my ex-husband. I was married eons ago.
Yes, I do have an announcement.
He did that.
To all subscribers out there, Rescue All Dogs did some researching again. Thank you, Rescue All Dogs. She is saying the Supreme Court of Indiana rules are no live restreaming. There are creators announcing they will definitely be restreamed live. Creators could cause more jeopardy for RA pretrial issues, which means you cannot play the live stream on your channel as it's going on.
No. I watch Indie Gov all like live streams from court all the time, and like they say it explicitly on there, you cannot record or
live stream it on your device.
Mm-mm. You can't record it, you can't live stream it. You have to have like a special permission. But so
I just wanted to put that out there. If there's other creators that are listening, take note.
Yeah, there is a lie in the pic. If you're talking about true crime disasters that Greeno keeps showing on his channel, which it's disrespectful and heinous that he even does that or that she even created it. But no, it's not accurate at all. It's not accurate in a major way, and it's disgusting.
Good night, Gail. Thank you for stopping in.
There's no horns.
There's no horns.
And like the sticks aren't even right. Like the probable cause, if it, you know, that you got to watch the wording of how, if you're talking about how the defense, whomever wrote that, like worded it.
I think it was Westerman who actually did it. My honest opinion.
I don't know who wrote it. I would say an intern under guidance, because that's why I think it was brilliantly elementary. So it's an oxymoron of a memorandum for sure. But like none of that is reason for Frank's. Like the main focus of that like memorandum, you got to prove that he with like malice, like intentionally trickery, and he knew what he was, doing to get a search warrant thrown out. And so most of that stuff, like, duh, we all know that, like, you don't have to, if they had to add in every single line of inquiry on other suspects for a judge to sign off on a search, that's ludicrous. Like that's idiotic. So what does that tell you? That Frank's was written for the public, point blank, period. And
if anybody wanted to know who I was specifically talking about that was in the chat, there she is right there. She just gave me a heart.
Deb. Well, you know what? I can guarantee you that Deb's never going to be on a panel with Greeno. So I'm never going to have to
know that. When I call her about the accusations that were being made about me supposedly supporting the con man and would protect Greeno if somebody come after him, she came unglued. She said, "What?" She says, "You don't have nothing to do with him." Nope. I said, I gave him a chance when he first got out of jail, and he blew it within the first couple weeks. And that's when you were on my ass.
Me?
Yes. Well, no, you were on my ass 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. You sure
I don't
were.
remember that.
I sure do. And I was new to this, and I didn't know a whole lot about the kid, you know?
Yeah. And I think that like I do, like, just after you've seen it coming and going so far, like what I really appreciate is when people are able to like admit when they're wrong and then like use it to make themselves a better person and not use it against other people. With like,
Right.
well, you have a past, so you should be willing to give me a second chance because someone gave you one. Well, yeah. You know
But
what though? Like,
when you continuously fucking up, you get in my
yeah.
book. See, I have had such a big heart for so many years. I give people 2 or 3 chances, and then I had to think back about a saying that my mama always taught me. She said, "Strike one, shame on me. Strike
Mhm.
2, shame on you. Strike 3, you're out of here."
Yeah.
You know. So I've always stuck to that from now on. Fool me once,
Yeah.
shame on me. Fool me twice, I'm out of here. You know?
Yeah. And like, I think that sleuth intuition, someone had, how, he really does a great job of avoiding, getting in things. But he was asking the chat and the way that he answered was beautifully said of like, yeah, I would consider that after a long period of time goes by with consistency and change.
Right.
That hasn't happened. So
It
no.
hasn't.
And he's right. Like I have a friend in true crime that has a past and a record and has done time. And he used that against this friend. And I pointed out just like, listen, he is he's weaponizing your past against you to think that you have a commonality with him and you don't. He's not changed and you have, like
Right.
it's as simple as that. You gotta, when you messed up so royally, like you have to earn, not it's not just words. You got to earn it.
Right.
You know.
But we're at about 2 hours, and I'm ready to get off here because I done missed the whole damn Pacer game.
Oh.
Hey, they're doing good this year.
Yeah, they're in the playoff, or what is it called in football?
Well, they were in the in season tournament and made it to the championship and got beat by the Lakers.
Yeah, well, Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel, thank you so much for coming on and speaking your mind because somebody had to do it. I know you don't go on your channel a whole lot, but I knew you had shit on your mind. So I appreciate you coming up, speaking it. And the next time I'll have you up again.
Never mind.
Yep. But I do want to thank Cynthia Gaines for becoming a new member, Gail Hurd for the $3 super sticker, Rescue All Dogs, and Leslie Kingston, both with $9.99 super stickers. Thank you, ladies, for much appreciated. I want to thank all my mods that were in the chat tonight. All right. Where did my comments go? There we go. All my mods that were in tonight, ladies, you know who you are. Thank you very much for hanging out and making sure everything was cool in my chat. Much appreciated. And everybody else, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I love each and every one of you.
Okay.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out. One love.
If you don't mind,
Go
I'm
ahead.
probably gonna go live on my channel, just like a low key, just like hang out, Q&A.
Yeah,
If anybody
everybody
wants
go
to
over to Cold Truth's channel, guys. give her some company.
See y'all.
Good night.
Thanks
Good
for
night,
having
guys.
me, Frank.
No problem, hon. Good night.